Still scrambling to get everything up. Here we go. We got some footage to go over. A very eventful Monday with a lot of great footage that a lot of people wanted to cut out. Let's see. First off, we have moved on to open guard. Got Mike and Jordan here. Looks like Cole and Alex lounging, hanging out. And Tall Joe, and I'm not sure who over there. Oh, Victor. So Mike opting to play an open guard variation here. Kind of half guard, I guess, as Jordan kind of lays into it. I think Mike probably still being safe about his knee. Oh, he got Austin and Brandon. Keep an eye on them. This is what happens, Brandon, when you have bad posture. You get RKO'd just like that. So, here's what is hilarious about this to me. What's up, Ben? Austin wanted to do this. Had talked about, I guess, had talked about doing this. Watch him look up at Caleb sitting against the wall over here. Little, yo, should I do it? Caleb's like, yeah, do it. So mean. But, and I yelled at Brandon for this during our roll, he does come in with some low posture sometimes, right? And, well, before we watch it again, you know, if you're looking at the mat, you're doing your opponent a favor. Generally speaking, of course, there are always exceptions, but coming in really low, I don't care if you're wrestling, like, he's totally hinged at his hips. His hips are not underneath Austin, so it's going to be very hard for him to come up from here. He's not pushing forward. He's not cutting angles, and he's letting Austin just control his posture. So, you know, Austin decided to have fun with it, but it does leave him vulnerable to not just bullshit, but other problems too. Sweeps, guillotines, front headlocks, all sorts of stuff. All right, let's check in with Mikey Mike. Tell me if I miss anything. Can you hear me? You there, Mike?
No, I can't hear you on Discord. I can hear everything else, though. Oh, how about now? Can you test?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh. Fuck, never mind.
All right, we'll come back. Let's see. So we have Peter's here. Yeah, I can hear him. He can't hear me right now, so he's having some trouble with his own audio. It's gonna be hard for us to converse and have a cohesive stream if he can't hear me. So what was I? Oh yeah, right here. So let's look at this entrance. Got a bit of a hook here. Got an ankle grip. Wait, hold on a second. My screen is flashing again. Hopefully that fixes it. So Mike moves into an X guard with a bit looser of an ankle grip here. He doesn't have like a full Achilles grip on the ankle. Easy-ish grip to break, but he gets it with enough time to extend Jordan's legs out as Jordan picks his leg up. Just a pretty easy put down. Now, you're gonna have to be more specific on that, Josh. I think Cole flips through the air a number of times in this stream, so we'll see. Austin, meanwhile, has made his way to Brandon's back. Keep an eye on that. He's playing with a high ball ride position. He doesn't have both hooks in, but he's got a hip under control, the top side hip in this case. With that top side hip, he's going to want either a very you know, a very serious threat on the strangle with his bottom side arm, or failing that, his bottom side arm as a control. Looks like he doesn't have either right now as he's trying to adjust. But I think he's got like a claw grip up top, trying to control the neck, maybe pull Brandon back over. Brandon shows his back. Yeah, I agree with Ben. Oh, speaking of Ben and Cole. Cole shoves him into the wall. And we got Mike on a shoulder crunch. Ben returns the favor. Yes, yes. Ugh, disgusting. Cole just getting put down like a heavy sack of potatoes with a body that looks like a sack of potatoes. That's right. No additives. All right, so let's see which way Mike goes with this shoulder crunch. He likes both. He likes to the right and the left, so he goes traditional in this case. And I say traditional because normally with this shoulder crunch, what he has here is the base taken away on Jordan's right side. I'm not sure what he's doing with his legs down here to prevent Jordan from basing out with his legs, but this traditionally opens up this one side really well. Problem is if you can't get a hold of the leg, or like maybe your opponent is just very heavily based in this direction, you can use this to take them in that direction. Like, you know, take them over here in the way they're basing, and get a sweep that way. Mike is very proficient with both. We see him working with double butterfly hooks there. How dare you? You're pretty sweaty for flow rolling, man. How did Austin get? Okay, Austin ended up. Oh, all right. He ends up. So as Brandon gives up the back, Austin sets up a triangle, which is nowhere you want to be with him. I think we all know that by now. Brandon looking composed. He's trying to work on his triangle escapes. He's been doing this with me for a while now. I think he likes this escape. He's just got to get used to the mechanics of it and really put it into practice. Austin doesn't give him a chance to do that though. Switches to a mounted triangle. Maybe talking to him a bit, maybe picking his nose for him. Settling in, attacking an arm, possibly. Cuts the angle and gets the tap. And Brandon's all smiles as usual. He had good pressure. I want to roll whether he had my post blocked or not. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, that move can absolutely put some torque on the shoulder. It is now. It is now, Cole. It's very astute. Let's check back in with Mike. How you doing, bud? Can you hear me? No? All right, welcome back. Mike did my sweep. It kind of does make sense. I'll give that to you. Mike did your sweep. That was a shoulder crunch sweep. You do your sweep typically involves a head and an arm, not just the arm, which is what a shoulder crunch is. Oh, Austin going for a toe hold on the wrapped leg. Did I have half a Milky Boy? I'm gonna assume you're talking a milkshake. And you have to tell us what flavor when you bring that up. I want to look at Joe over here working with Victor. Just seeing where he's at over here all the way on the side. Laying on some heavy pressure. I'm assuming he was looking to switch for that arm bar, but maybe lost the arm and just ends up in side control on the other side. And then yeah, this is a good little note. Notice as Victor brings his arms up. Right, I pointed out. Right here. You guys often hear me talking about not hugging your opponent, not bringing them close to you necessarily. You know, maybe if you're trying a throw or something in a standing position, you know, Cole breaks this rule when we see him using his Hitachi sweep. But the difference there is he normally has a leg or two in between him and his opponent, or he's in a position to bridge very effectively. Whereas Victor maybe could bridge out of this, but I think he's at the disadvantage here with weight and also leverage. So it's not really going to work. I'd rather see him working to frame his opponent, get his arms in between him and Joe, create space, get your side guard, work and escape, whatever. Oreo milkshake. Sounds awesome. I haven't had dinner yet, which means I'm not going to have dinner for like another hour and a half because you guys really, really want to watch this. So looks like been looking for an thought maybe an anaconda there for a second. He's on the wrong side for a Darce. Mike showing us his food as we laugh at Jordan and the the shoulder attack Mike is putting on him. I really want you guys to watch this too. Like, just, you know, just to watch what happens to Cole repeatedly. Brandon shooting a single. So, Brandon, you're doing really well with getting to the leg. You've got to stand up here, man. When you shoot singles on me, you know, you're getting in, getting to the leg. You're on an angle here. Get off that back knee. Push through Austin, right? Push Austin this way. Make his legs light. Stand up and move him. You're right there, man. Like, if you can make that more automatic, you'll have a nice breakthrough in your technique, and it'll be exactly what you need, man. You'll have a really sharp weapon for the stand-up game. Nice thought to try to get behind there. Ronnie's taking notes. Add more flights to her list. Ben just skirting right around that guard. All right, me and Andrew get a scrap. Looks like Pat and Mike. Ooh, Caleb and Big Jordan. All right, Andre and Joe too. I think we're going to see Joe kind of flow in this round a little bit. Although you tell me otherwise, Joe. I know you don't always know how to flow. It's just not in your nature. I mean, Tsunami's flow. It's just a lot of flow. Let's see. So Pat here making a real effort, giving the old college try to get around Mike's guard, but we'll see how Mike shuts us down. Thank you, Josh. So I think we went over this. Try not to get quad squooshed. We went over this, I think this pass, or at least a similar variation of it in class. Luke went over it. That Pat's trying to work right now, where he's got Mike's heel pinned to his butt, and he's trying to work around that side. The problem, so, okay, here he switches more to a heavy pass, which is what I've always known it to be called, where you just kind of like point the knees in one direction and pass around the side, rather than like a body lock, which I believe is what Luke went over, like just a basic body lock pass. In the body lock, you're going to typically try to step over this knee. So that knee's got to kind of be flattened to the ground or close to it so you can get a step over it. But now here he gets around to the outside, but this leaves your hips very open. And this is a good opportunity for Mike to just stiff arm the hips away, push on him, keep him from closing the distance, and work to move his hips to a better position. You see him reverse shrimping there. This is a great example of when reverse shrimping is necessary. Shrimping normally is going to take Mike this way, but instead you see him scooting his hips. See how he plants his foot? He's planting that right foot, scooting this way, gets his hips back, tries to get his legs in. Has trouble getting his bottom leg in, so he hikes the high leg over, and now he ends up getting safe. So he just created space. Again, he didn't hug his opponent. He just created space, tried to keep the space, and then moved to a spot where it was workable for him. Cole and Austin. You guys got to tell me if you see Cole, if you see his feet leave the ground, so we can watch it. Ooh, Caleb on a nasty straight ankle here. What am I doing? I don't know. What were you doing? Looks like nothing terribly effective. So just while we've rewound, we got Caleb working against Jordan's open guard here and deciding, opting on like Pat to pass. He opts to go for the straight ankle, falls back with it. He's in an outside Ashi position, so he doesn't have that top knee to kind of keep Jordan away. So we see Jordan starting to close the distance. He's trying to hide his heel, trying to pull his heel back. Now he gets free and Caleb gets rolled. That was nice. Caleb, for you, when you opt to go to this outside Ashi, if it's just not working, the heel hook or the straight ankle, I want you to do everything in your power to retain that Achilles grip. And you can start to, maybe bring your head underneath, start to like invert as best you can. Or, working off balance, maybe get a hand in the armpit. This hand that's posted, you could do a cross shoulder post, get Jordan off base in this direction. You could try to get him off base in this direction. All that, but he can't do what he's about to do if he gets his knee or if he gets his heel back. So right there, he's pretty much, right there, he's pretty much free to move. Now your back is exposed and you're in a bit of trouble. Ushi Mugushi, 100%. We went over that. Ooh, Ben with a good takedown there. What was that? A inside trip or something? Outside trip. Like with another sweep. Getting Pat committed on that underhook. Mike using his deep overhook. Oh, I was going to anyway. I'm unfamiliar with the Katamari. I know a calamari. Well, let's see, what's Andre up to? How do you get Joe and mount? Did Joe sit? What's going on here? Okay, Andre working a double underhook pass. Only getting as far as half guard. Joe again pushing on the hip, trying to shut down any further advancement. But now Joe is flat on his back. Not a great spot to be in half guard. This is where knee levers and stuff, where you plant your feet outside this knee, not inside, but outside the knee, and then point your knees in that direction. Find that useful, especially if my arms are in a bad spot. Most people aren't going to get swept there. They're going to base out, but it allows you to bring your arms back in and create frames. Jordan really digging on a Kimura here. No luck yet, though. I'm going to settle back to side control. Joe's a good sitter, yes. Andrew trying to heel hook me on my good leg. Fortunately, it's very kind of him. In fact, let's see how he gets there. I think he looks for like the step around. Yeah. Gathers up the good leg. Doesn't really have much control over my hip. And then as he's reaping, this is good. Now he has my knee line, or he has my knee in his knee line. But I can start to pop up. It isn't too much to get my knee free, and I'm out of there. Hopefully with no meniscus tear in the good leg. Let's see. All right, we're gonna. Whoa, hold on. I'm coming, Mike. I'll be right there. We're gonna log on, see if Mike's good. Just want to see what happens here. This is more like a knee lever. Caleb doesn't have his. Okay, no, maybe not. Okay. Jordan trying to get out. Now he's got the heel. Jordan on a counter heel hook. But no real control over that leg on the counter heel hook. Now he might have something. He's into 50-50. There are a lot of goings on. I'm having trouble. I guarantee I'm missing something. I haven't seen any huge movements. But keep watching. Let's check in with Mike. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you still.
Okay. Hold on. Let me try something.
Other thing on Discord except for you.
Okay, hold on. Everybody keep watching, please. I will I'll get right back. Check. Yeah, I know he hears everything but me on Discord. I don't know, man.
So weird.
Yeah, this is really stupid. Let's see. Nothing? Can't hear me? It's my microphone. I don't know, man. Oh. All right.
Fuck it. We can pick it up later. Next time.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Mike. It sucks. Everybody can hear you. But all right. Bummer. We'll figure that out. Just as I look back, Joe's getting put down with a dummy sweep after getting to mount. Let's see. So how far back are we? Jordan never got caught with a leg attack. I think I catch Andrew here with something. Another open guard entry. Oh yeah. So you see me feebly trying to get around to like a reverse ashi here. Looking to spin the leg. But Andrew's got my leg caught and he's not letting me have it. It isn't until I about fall over that I can get my leg free. And now I'm trying to be real careful with my my bad knee. Get his legs untied. So he does kind of the sensible thing, triangling his legs. But it's a pretty easy thing to untie. Let's see if you can see me doing it. I go what I'll call same side grip on the legs, where my right arm goes to his right foot, the one that kind of locks the triangle or the figure four. My left arm goes under that, grabs the heel of his leg that's crossing over, the locked leg, the primary leg that I care about. I pull that top leg towards me. I pull that locked leg in front of me, and it opens up. Legs aren't pretty strong. Legs aren't strong when you try to rotate them at the hip. So I can open that up and then immediately go on an attack for the knee bar. I fall in the direction where my body isn't pinning the secondary leg. So this isn't the ideal finishing position. Like right here, I'd rather be on top, my body weight on top of this leg than on top of the primary or down by the primary leg. But it just means I really got to commit to this knee bar, make sure I get it. I'm good to go. So yes, he tried turning it on. Literally did try to turn it on and off again. I don't know. It's something weird with Discord. I don't know if it's on my end or his. I'm the only thing he can't hear. Joe keeping his legs wide open, inviting Andre to move to an open guard. Boom, Joe puts him down, and Andre immediately slips on a straight ankle attack. Joe being smart though here-ish a second ago, kind of unfazed by it. So this is going to be difficult because it looks like, you know, Andre utilizes a pretty strong reap. Joe has the right idea though, trying to get his foot flat to the mat and standing up. It looks like that's initially what he's trying to do. I think Andre's got actually a really great position here. This left leg is flaring out in front of Joe's torso, which makes it hard for him to step forward and get that leg planted and get to a standing position. He's reinforcing it with his right leg here, and that makes it pretty difficult for Joe to stand up, even actively kicking him away. Now Joe goes belly down, and that's a bad spot. There we go. At least Mike's in the chat, hanging out. He drove me over. Yeah. It's very apparent. That was great reaction from him. Really good control. Like we're all silently scared of how good Andre is right off the bat and how good we think he's going to become. Cool. So we also have a new student, Ricky, over here in the blue spats, rolling with Luke. I didn't get a chance to roll with him. I didn't know he stuck around actually. I hope he is. Ricky, if you're watching, follow us if you haven't, man. Subscribe if you really like it. I think he said he's been training for a hot minute. Andre, is that you, my man? Sven. I can't think of anybody else we would call Sven. What's up, bro? Thanks for joining, man. Thank you for the follow. A bunch of stuff in, so we stop paying attention. Oh, okay, good. Jordan actively hamstringing our new students and promising ones at that. That's how all the upper belts stay good. So we just teach you guys bad things. Yeah, Andre, you had a great round with Joe a second ago. I don't know if you were watching. And then we've got I know you and Cole have a killer round later. I'm very excited to watch. Let's see. I've got Matt. We got Ben with Brandon. And Mike with Joe. Excellent north-south escape, Joe. It's really good. You're keeping... Mike gives you a little bit of space here. You keep those arms in. You get one knee in. It's really all you need. Gives you the space to spin around. Get set. 100%, James. We should paint that on the wall above the lion. So Matt's doing an annoyingly good job of keeping me from getting to the T Kimura position that I wanted to work from. So I have this Kimura set up. Actually, how did I get here? I think this is purely stealing from Mike's style of sweeping that we've seen him do lately. Attacking from bottom half guard, attacking that far arm with a 2-on-1. Here you can see I'm basically just like holding it like this. Once I get it, Matt can't base out anymore. And I start to elevate my leg, my good leg, and get Matt rolling over. Now I land across the body into a position where I can attack a Kimura, but I didn't want to attack it. My knee was pretty deep in here. Plus I had that huge brace on, so it wasn't going to be easy to slip. So I said, let me just get settled on this. Once Matt gives me a little bit of leeway, I can like right there, I can start to work out. I'm not going to switch to how I normally like to finish the Kimura, which is hips pointing this way, stepping over the head. Again, just kind of not sure I want to do that on my knee. I just want to point this out while I'm thinking about it. You can see Matt tries to sweep me here, right? He tries to roll me right there. Let's see if there's a better. Yeah, right here. The problem is his back is exposed, and I need his knuckles to go behind his back for the Kimura. So when he takes his back off the mat, it makes that possible for me. So he may roll, he may get me on my butt. Even if he fully comes up, I still have a very, very deep Kimura grip here, and he's nowhere near being safe at this point. He still has some trouble to deal with. I'm not sure if he realized that and decides to go back down. But when he did that, he opened up his legs so I could slip out. Now, as I try to somersault over, he keeps a hold of my hips. Doesn't make it easy for me to get to the spot I want to be at. Come back, shin pin, and I could get to a T Kimura. Actually switched off the Kimura and started setting up a rear naked strangle from here. And then just for any white belts, still navigating, rear naked strangle and dealing with the hand fight and all this stuff. Matt and I talked about this after this match, but I want to point it out. I am pretty immediately attacking his neck, and Matt said my chin was down, so I thought it would be okay to start attacking your feet with my hands. And he's using his bottom hand, what he can of it, to attack. But I said, stop right there. You've got it wrong. Your chin down is not a safe spot. That's not something you can rely on. So go back to that golden rule of back mount. Do not attack feet with hands. If you have somebody on your back, do not attack their feet with your hands. Not until you learn how properly, but protect your neck. That's really protect your neck's the golden rule. And you don't do it with your chin down. All right, well, Jordan, thanks for being here, bud. Me or Matt, what? And what did Austin just wave about? And what happened with Mike and Joe? So many questions. Looking here. Oh, okay, nothing major. What was that? So the closed guard. Ooh, setting up a triangle, gets a sweep. Maybe that's what it was. 4 points. Sweep to mount. Really, it'd be 6 points. 2 for the sweep. 4 for the mount. Well, been about backstepping around Brandon's guard, but Brandon knows better. Now Brandon looking to expose the leg. But Ben knows better. We got... All right. That was a good triangle fight, man. So Andrew really, really stacking Austin here. Let me get out of the way. Yeah. Yeah, that was just getting tighter and tighter. And I think a lot of us have learned stacking out of triangles isn't always the way to go. Yeah, except for Veronica. I don't remember the last time I triangled you. And when it happened, I probably had a sore neck the next day. All right, Cole and Joe. I feel like something happens here. Thought I heard a loud sound at some point in this roll. And Joe has great takedowns. I think Joe has some really solid judo style takedowns. Not on showcase there as Cole pulls in, closes the distance, sits to guard, and kind of wouldn't even call it a sit to guard, really just sitting and sweeping him over. Pat coming over with a reap on Jordan's leg. And a good kipping escape-ish from Joe. Gets a little push on the hips, gets Cole off balance, and is able to escape out away from him. Anybody who struggles with their kipping escapes or that kind of stiff arm style of mount escape, it's most likely because you're doing it from here, flat on your back, when you really need to be doing it from here, bridging up to a side. That way, your hips have somewhere to go away from your opponent's hips. Yes, Spin. 1,000,000% yes. Mike agrees. I mean, yeah, from day one of training with Luke, it's been like a cinder block hanging from my neck. But one that like hit me on the back of the head. It's been nice being injured and not having to train with Luke. I've been enjoying not dealing with his bullshit. It was a good single from him. So for Brandon, that single leg that we saw him attacking earlier on Austin, this is what, Brandon, are you in the chat? I'm gonna look right now. If I see you, I see your name. If you're watching, I want you paying attention. This single leg, right? So it was very similar. Looking right here. Luke pulls and shoots, so he sets it up off his arm drag. He loves this arm drag variation. Happens really quickly. Right here, he's got his wrist grip, I think. Yeah. And then boom, arm drag and the fall. He steps in with this leg and falls over. It makes the fall is purposeful. You really commit yourself. You're kind of pulling down on their shoulder, getting your opponent off balance and blocking their leg at the same time. If they don't fall, you're in prime position to just get their leg. But here's the thing. This is where I was saying with Brandon, I want him working to either a standing position to pick him up, driving through him, chasing down the single, or Luke opts for another variation here. He instead uses his head to push Bin backwards as he pulls the leg in front of him. And then now they reset. I think if Cole and Joe weren't there, I'm pretty confident Luke probably would have stayed to Bin's side. Maybe past his guard, unless Bin was quick with his hips, getting back and getting his legs back in. Andre's really digging these straight ankles, man. Andre, one thing I want you to focus on with this. So as you're setting this up, like, I'm not sure what your thought is here. If you're pushing on the leg to kind of like you're pulling up the ankle and pushing on the leg to maybe increase the force there. I'd rather you get your grip with your straight ankle, and then do everything you can to bring that hand as high as you can. And once you start pulling your hand up, if it stops, well, then start taking your chin to your hand. I want you to be rounded, completely like rolled over, like you've been, looking at your phone for 50 years and just the worst posture ever. Then from there, you could start to straighten back out and take that arm with you. Take your hands with you. The further your hands are from your chin, the less power you're going to have as you extend away. This arm extending is probably not going to do much, especially to Jordan. And then you just kind of end up losing the leg here. So you're at a full extension. There's really no power to put into that straight ankle. So work on keeping your hands close to your chin and then straightening your body out once you get there. Your connection to his hips, it's going to be important too, like what you do with your legs or your feet or whatever. We can cover that another time. Nothing about me is quick. I beg to differ. You've got some quickness in you. I've dealt with it. Well, at least he went to mount on you and didn't immediately smash your nose into your face. Unless he did and I missed it. Yeah, no. Luke gave you a merciful death. With me, he just smashes my cartilage into my sinuses. Another great reason I've been stoked to not train with him. I don't know if people looked at that 1876 phone the way they look at a 2024 phone, Jordan. I'm no phonologist, but I think there might be a flaw in your argument there. Yeah, I know, Ronnie. It's a brown belt thing. Luke doesn't care about us anymore. Maybe to work the rotary, but that was like, I think the rotary came later. Ooh, almost a clash of heads there. Glad that didn't happen. Allows Andre to keep working on this armbar. He's got a good leg position. Jordan, my man. Oh, you're scaring me. I trust that you know when to tap, but I think Peters is currently saying, just fucking tap earlier. I just want to look at this again. So the one thing I'd like to see improved with this Andre is don't fall to your butt before your leg is in front of the face. From here, from this position, you can control his arm, step your leg over the face, and you can even finish it mounted, and it sucks. But when you fall back like this without the cross-facing leg in, one, as you kind of fling the leg over, you run the risk of kicking your opponent in the face. Obviously, in the training room, we don't want to do that. In the real world, who gives a shit? But if you're not fast enough, Jordan rolls up, maybe puts himself in the threat of a triangle, maybe not, depending on his hand configuration. And you just kind of give up this opportunity because you chose speed over control and you lost the race. So I would personally opt to get the leg in front of the face first. Then you could fall backwards for a traditional finish if you want to do it. You didn't lose the race though. You keep that leg engaged over his face, and the one over his body here, you kind of start going to what's called a 3/4 armbar. Jordan's trying not to let that happen. You'll always hear me trying to avoid saying right or left, just because it needs to work for anybody of any handedness. So the cross-facing leg, your right leg in this case, yeah. We also hear me say head side leg versus body side leg, just in reference to its position over the body. So head side leg, body side leg. And yeah, just for clarity. Yeah, yes, I was saying from here, stepping that, what would become your head side leg or your cross facing leg, stepping that over, which in this case is your right leg. And correct, yeah. Thank you, Jordan. The clarification. Not the wrong leg. Andrew working to a knee bar on Brandon's bandaged knee. Gets instead an inside heel hook. Very nice. All right, Ben. Let's see this standing guard break, bro. Looks like go ahead. Go ahead, stand. Now it's harder. Now he's got his legs up higher towards your shoulder line. That's where it really sucks. When he does this to me, yep, I go right back down, kind of shimmy my way, shoulder walk up a bit. Ooh. Now Luke's in a little bit of trouble. Just has his back exposed. Okay. End of the round. Fun roll. Oh, me and Austin. Please be honest, Cole. Austin looking to spin around and attack my legs. I didn't want him to do anything good there. So I tried to shut all that down. And it's kind of subtle. Like, I'm not just talking smack. As Austin, maybe I didn't. I may have clipped it. It may have happened right before the footage started. Oh, no, right here. So Austin goes for a back step, but I keep my leg hooked behind his leg. If you think like that back step, I think we all know and love it. It's effective. It's a smooth way to get into cross ashi. Very effective when you get there. But I think Lachlan Giles was the one I saw do this. He calls it like Jedi mind trick or something, stupid. But he hooks that leg behind the knee when you backstep, and it completely shuts it down and then exposes the back of the backstepping opponent. So right there, you can see I have the back exposed. Austin knows he's not in the best spot, so he starts turning towards me, getting safe. I'm not quite as nimble as I want to be, so we just go back. He hits it again, but I keep my legs safe. And again, I have my legs behind him. I get control of the hips. I scramble up, and I said, I'm a cripple, but I'm still going to take you down. And I drop his hips, directly on my knee as I do it. But I'm no worse for the wear. But it was a scary moment. All right, Cole and Andre. Gonna be fireworks, dude. Good butterfly sweep from Andre there. Cole looking to set up his Hitachi sweep. Gets it. Just an arm, the head, and a big over back grip. And a little bit of a commitment from the opponent, and you can get them over. So I had my one hook in on my good leg, and I said I'm not going to try to get the hook in on top like my other hook in, just because no good. So what else can I do from here to break him down? Never heard you say head side leg or the other. That's because you never listen to anything I say, and you come in, just halfway through my lesson and in no mental space to give me the credit that I've earned as a teacher. So you don't even listen to me. We have multiple rounds this might. Yeah, no, I know. Anyway, I start looking for other options from this position on the back, rather than just breaking down the turtle and entering into a rear naked strangle. Banana split, or like spladle, if you're familiar with that from wrestling. Although this isn't really a spladle, but I get the roll. This is kind of what you might hear 10th Planet guys calling a truck entrance. So I hit the roll, control that leg, and hit a banana split. Caleb just off screen, cheering me on. You can see I get a bend in this leg and control it. I pull this knee to the ground. I take my heels to the mat, and it attacks the hip joint. It doesn't just stretch the ligaments and muscles there. It really attacks the joint, the ball joint of the hips, and totally sucks. Anybody who's been in it knows. Yeah, dude. I said it. I'll be honest. I said it. We've got Andre working from an open guard. We got Matt over there with Brandon. Oh, another Kimura style attack here on Austin. Austin loves to tauntingly put his hands behind his back in Kimuras, and we've seen him do it on stream, and we've seen him somehow get out of it, and I don't let him get away with that bullshit. So I start setting up like a rear wrong way position. He gives me a good early tap, maybe to spare his shoulder. Why are you apologizing, Josh? Austin trying to use the wizard properly, right? Really trying to break me down with this. But I start cutting across the body, get his legs out from underneath him, take away his base. What was that takedown? Okay. Jordan just slipping off the sacrifice. Happens, especially when you start getting later into these sweaty rounds. Notice how much I'm trying to control Austin's legs as I move. I'm not just flying around trying to gain position. I'm actively keeping them under control until I can make an advancement. And then now we enter into like a 2-minute battle, or what felt like 2 minutes for me to break his leg. Maybe. Depends on the rule set. Ref might see that and say, hey, you initiated it, it didn't work. Andrew didn't earn it. Austin really did a good job here for a long time shutting this down. I'm really trying to attack it in different ways to minimize his escape. But he made it difficult, as he always does. Andre doing really well tracking Cole's attempt at a guard pass here. Cole setting up, again, that heavy style pass, but Andre slipping the leg off before he can really get stacked up and managing to stay in an open guard. There we go. There's the heel. This is a pretty torqued up outside heel hook from more of a belly up position than the traditional like on your side. But I'm confident in it because I can see Austin's knee and he cannot see his knee. So I know I got it. Now it's just a matter of kind of taking that position from where I have my hands close to my chin and starting to straighten my body out. Putting some torque on it. He touched my hands. He knew he couldn't do anything about it because I'm just too strong. All right, Andre working the double under. Cole just flowing apparently, you know. That's all he did today is just flow, according to him. What was the? Okay, good sweep there, Andre. Cole sweeps back. Andrew looking for his leg again. I think that's another sweep with that kind of 2-on-1 attack, just keeping the arm where it is, weighing down through Austin's shoulder line. And Austin getting himself to almost a 50-50 position. I have an outside heel hook on him, or opportunity. He has an inside heel hook. I would give him the advantage there. How'd that Cole guy his sweep, and they end up on top. Cool. So this is where I give Brandon a lot of shit for what led to his RKO earlier. So you see how he's just looking at the ground, and I start pushing his head to the mat, saying, "Get your posture back, get your posture back." Can't just give it up like that. Wanted a Choi bar there, but it's not an option. Andrew's looking for a big takedown. Ooh, Caleb with the north-south. See if Jordan can... I think Jordan's trying to counter this. Maybe? Or maybe just trying to create some space. Break his leg teaching a buggy choke. God. No, I don't think. Send it to me. The thought of attempting a buggy choke now with like a torn meniscus. I feel like, I don't know if you guys watched any of the lead up to Nikki Ryan versus Renee Souza, but Renee Souza likes a buggy choke, and they were having a fun pre-match discussion about that, and Nikki's like, "There's no way in hell I will ever do that to you." His knees are just bone on bone at this point. So let's see. There have been a few of you that I know Mike and myself and Luke were talking about mount strategy and grips and whatnot. So just looking at Brandon here. Let's see. So first I get him with a little pendulum sweep. I've got his arm across the body. Let's see how I get that. Just 2-on-1. I go elbow and wrist in this case. So tuck the wrist in, get the hand behind the elbow, give it a big push and a pull. Okay, I didn't even do it that effectively. I scooted my hips out, got behind his elbow. Now I can cut to my angle, fling that leg over. Whenever I teach that pendulum sweep, remember I always show you guys, I'm not opening my guard and loading my leg up and then flinging it. I'm just opening my guard. My leg is already loaded up. One big flick, and it's normally enough to get someone going. So I start looking for an underhook right here. I get that arm extended, switch to an underhook. And Brandon's not letting me do much, you know, smother-wise or anything. He's really bugging me with that other arm. But the problem is when people start defending up high like this and their elbow flares out, they leave themselves vulnerable to a second underhook right there. So now I get both arms up above the head. Really great spot to be if you have if you want to work S mount, which I really wanted to. I was saying that to Mike right now. That would be a terrible choice. So I just stopped to go on for looking for the head and arm. Let's see when Joe gets past the legs here. Setting up control. Big step, good back step, or like high, more of a high leg. That was kind of akin to, speaking of Nikki Ryan, something I saw him do in one of his ADCC matches, which I've heard referred to as a scissor kick pass. But I was really emphasizing this with you guys at class when we went over this. Joe doesn't do it quite as much here. This might be a little bit different from the position that we were working, which is why it's not exactly the same. But this knee pushes or can push this way. So you have the back step that his left leg in this case comes over. And then if you turn your hips really hard, you could fling your opponent's legs by as you settle in. So you see that hip switch, a little bit of a knee there with the right leg pushing at Cole's hips. That clears everything and Joe can settle in all the way to north-south in this case. Oh, Caleb looking for it. He's got himself maybe into a knee bar position. He's in cross ashi. Jordan denies it. Almost setting up a dog bar-ish. Caleb countering with a good guillotine, and Jordan opts to try to roll out of it. Jordan coming up on the head outside single. Not the worst thing in the world, but that's a hard one to crawl up from under Caleb. Look for that Kimura to T position again. Looking for on Brandon, right? I have my leg, get my leg out, kind of roll up, let Brandon come out the top. And now I could set up the back take. Love that. Andrew's on an odd angle on that arm bar over here in the corner. Looking right here. It almost looks like Matt's just waiting for the break. Might have been able to sneak out of that one, Matt. You had your hips free. I think you were probably a bit more mobile than you realized, but all good with tapping. Dude, Caleb and Jordan are getting after it here. Yeah, like it looks like you guys were doing kind of Toriando style passing. What happened there? I was watching Joe and Cole. Okay, Caleb swims over for the toe hold, but he gets a knee bar. That was a nice little switch, bruh. Because you're attacking the right leg. Do you end up attacking the left leg, or do you just? Okay, yeah, you still continue. You continue attacking the right leg. You just turned around it. Jordan is doing his very best to run some second leg interference there, but not enough. Sandal salesman. All right. Andre looks like a trip there. Jordan, I feel like you and I haven't rolled in forever. Oh, nice sweep-ish. Yeah, Yeah, that was good. So Caleb gets to this kind of over-under position. Starts to get an angle. You could see he's straddling Cole's leg. Steps behind, stops it from planting. Gives it a little push, a little shove up top. You can get him down. I think Cole recovers pretty quickly from this, though. immediate smother choke. So that was funny. I saw this happen. Yeah, I was watching it and was curious why. I feel like Caleb didn't fight that one too hard. I'll frequently meet you anytime you want, bud. It was a good takedown, Caleb. You just had to retain the position. Cole was able to reverse. And what was that one? Look away for 1 second. It was just a tripod variation. More of a dummy sweep. This is kind of what not quite how Danny likes to do it, just because Cole actually has inside position with his legs, but uses the shins pushing outward as he's got the ankles under control. And that's not an easy position to hit that bear trap with your knees when you fall. Not really a spot where you can do that with that variation. Been feinting a toe hold there, giving Andre some stuff to think about. Andre doing good, framing the hips, turning towards his opponent. Some good guard retention, open guard retention. I'm looking to spin the body here. Andre, I want you to notice I kind of break my own rule here with the armbar that I was just saying to you, but I want you to just see the difference here. So I have a Kimura set up. You'll see me sit to my butt before the leg is in place, but I don't fall back really quickly in this direction. It's a pretty small movement that doesn't generate much of an opportunity for Jordan to move. It may also be because Jordan is heavily turned in the other direction. Maybe if he explosively turned back, you would see me falling to my butt before I have the crossface leg on. But just notice, I'm right here. There's no real opportunity for him to turn with me and yank that arm free. And that's what we're trying to avoid by taking a more controlled approach to the armbar entrance. Then now I do this thing I really, really like. It's been working really well. I don't just cross my legs with no purpose. I get this shin over top of the grip. What grip is Jordan using? Just a gable grip. So I don't have to sacrifice my figure four while putting pressure on the grip here. I can start to break this open as I start to pull back. Here I'm being super sloppy. Elbow, chest, a lot of space there. Not ideal. Do as I say, not as I do. There, once I get it free. This is actually kind of a good adjustment from Jordan. Grips go up. I'm in this leg position I don't really like. I've kind of lost my cross-facing leg. Maybe I should... I gotta think through this. I may want to cross my ankles the other way. That's what I need to do. If this leg is on bottom and this one is on top, when he does this little grip switch, I end up in a 3/4 armbar, which I'd much rather be in than this. And that's why we review footage. But I really didn't want him to get out of this. And he didn't. So what did Andrew... Looks like Joe gets himself a knee bar here. Loves him a knee bar. Andrew almost got free. Oh, no, he did get free. Okay, yeah, he slipped a knee. I think this was after Andrew, or maybe before Andrew kicked Joe right in the pills. Head side leg, Cole. Obviously. You idiot. Oh, alright. It was before. What happened there? I didn't even see it happen. I can't even see it from here. You almost were out though, man. It was I screwed up a lot there and let you get a little too much in that exchange. The right, okay. So Caleb isn't, if he captures that knee, he'll be in a pretty decent, a workable spot. Nah, now that his elbow's up above his shoulder line though, not so much. I wouldn't tell him to not work from there. What a dick. We get the smother and the double bicep. It's painful, man. Also painful, Joe. Ben has been lasting. Oh man, just as I say, he was lasting quite a long time dealing with the open guard here. Andre, that was super quick. Really, really nice. Let's just see. So I want to look at Ben's stance right before. Kind of square. Okay, there you go. Now he goes staggered. This is good. Andre has brought this leg back. That allows him to get up quickly, and yeah, a little high on the grip here. I would just say, think about putting your pinky to the mat, Andre, when you're trying to work this ankle pick. But you do really well here to get it. This other hand doing an important job pushing at the hip. Let's see, yeah, at the knee, hip, whatever. I guess on a clearer frame that is pretty low. Maybe because Ben tries to step out of it. You start to work down to the end of the lever. Real quick stand up. That's a very important part of that ankle pick. And we get Ben back. Hopefully not bouncing his big old melon off the mat. And then Ben with the sweep. That was a great ankle pick though. And good sweep. Good recovery, Ben. So you weren't too vulnerable there. Andre looking for that double Kouchi inside the ankles. Doesn't quite get it. But I like the idea. Ben thinking about a video he saw. Somebody jumped over the guard. Working for him this time. Let's see, we got 15 more minutes of footage. I just want to see this. So switching from you'll notice my right leg is across the body. It's not really working as a hook. So I'm setting up an armbar here because I didn't want to use hooks. I didn't want to roll over my leg. So here, hook the arm, get a little pressure on the back of the head. Then now I gather up the legs like I'm doing here. I've reached over, bring the legs, bring the hips over me. And then really had to earn this roll. Jordan wasn't making it easy. And then I'm back to that seated armbar position. But time running out. And I don't like to grip and rip with 1 second left. That's when stupid injuries can happen. All right, Austin and Matt. Pinball, my man, how you been, bro? Good to see you or hear from you. I only realized recently that probably in the entire time that you were watching our stream, the quality, if I was running it, was absolutely terrible. I finally have decent internet. That's for the best. Not much to look at on Twitch anyway. Except us, of course. Glad you're doing well, man. Hope you're training. You are still the resident judo expert here. FYI. I would give you, I really wish Twitch let me give people individual flair. I would make something for that. Laser could have a chef's hat. Do something judo-y for you. Oh, excellent, man. So you're a black belt now, right? Congratulations, bro. That's super exciting. Oh, Joe pretty much handles me here at Luke's instruction. We have Austin looking for possibly an arm triangle, but Matt's making it difficult. Just as I say that, he lets him easily step out. He recovers. Okay. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. Yeah, I feel like once you get up to, I don't know about you, once it got to brown, it was just like, who gives a shit when it happens? I'm addicted anyway. I'm not leaving. My body's failing me and breaking. I'll get it when I get it. So Joe working an arm triangle on me right now. We had some adjustments to make there, but we talked through it afterwards. Meanwhile, okay. So Matt, same deal, bro. When you're working these straight ankles, just like I was telling Andre. Okay, here you're going for a heel hook. Good luck. Austin's pretty good at hiding his heel. I like that you switch up, try to hit a straight ankle. You're in kind of a weird entanglement for it, though. You're definitely more. Well, I can't even say that. You guys, all you tall guys, it's difficult to say. I would typically expect a heel hook from this leg entanglement, just because of the depth of the knee past your knee line. But you know, doesn't always matter when you're tall. But what does matter, like I said, this chin to hand space. I want to see that close up before you start straightening out and trying to rip on someone's leg. Your back is going to be a lot stronger than your bicep. So you got to put your back into it, man. Only way to do that, start with bad posture and then straighten it out. I guess Pat's talking to them. Meanwhile, we got Caleb or Jordan and... Is that Caleb? No, Caleb's on the wall. Oh, Jordan and Cole. Looks like Jordan got him with a smother. Cole with the sweep. Let's see, we're gonna zoom in. See if I can zoom in on the side here. We just lose Cole's match. That's fine. You what, Perp Daddy? I like Matt coming up on the guillotine here. He's got to have his legs in a better position to actually seek out the finish. I think he's working with an arm-in guillotine as well. Just going to be hard, but he can use it for a sweep. Speaking of, a little roly-poly action here with Jordan and Cole. So one sweep. Here's my pointer. Two sweep. Well, finally a sweep. Really actually got it this time. Jordan says, hey, I can do that too. Only worked because, well, no, I mean, he rolled him to the side where the arm wasn't trapped. So Cole's just flowing, man. He's just flowing this round. And then now Jordan gets the arm extended. Riding up high in a mount. Legs a little loose. But he gets the straight arm, it looks like. Well, first off, does a man have to say when he was flowing? Unless you're he, they, I apologize. And second, no. He doesn't. Or they don't. All right. We got kind of a last long round here. We've got a banger with Andre and Cole. And maybe some other people, I don't remember. Big toss here. That's what I'm talking about. Felt it, heard it, saw it. Pinball, you're here. What would you call this? Would this be like an Ogoshi or one of the lesser Ogoshis, since the hips aren't all the way across? Which is what I wanted to point out. So this is great. I really like it. You can get a bit more height out of it, Andre, if you want. Getting your hips like all the way over to the other side. You did it enough here. You got the throw. It looks good. It's a great takedown. You can get just more, what is it? A higher intensity, a higher amplitude throw with the hips all the way across. Cole quick to recover though. As usual, we saw him do this earlier in the stream. He gets taken down. He says, "You're not going to do that to me without paying for it." Andre pays the Cole tax and gets swept. I know there's Ogoshis, like the big one, and then there's like one below that, and then I think one below that. I can never remember what those are. I think I do for the rest of my. Yeah, that's a good one, Jordan. Really, it's a really good one. This is why we miss pinball, because he knows the lingo and he doesn't make fun of it like you guys do. All right, so let's see. We got some close guard here. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. So you guys got a long round here. We don't see much else going on. There we go. Okay. This is nice. So, great Kimura setup. Good Kimura sweep. And just something to point out here when you guys want to go for this. If Cole manages to keep his head up the center, there's no Kimura sweep here. But you can see Andre gets his like collar tie, kind of pummels the head over. Andre either pummels the head over or maybe Cole slips the head by, leaving his arm behind. But when he does, Andre says, "Mine," gets it and can manage to take away the base and start putting on some sweeping pressure. Ukigoshi has half a hip in, but the attacking is completely different. Okay. Koshiguruma was similar to that, trailing down around the head. Ah, okay. I'll have to look up Ukigoshi again. I'm familiar with it, but I never noticed the big difference. Sven actually is Tom. Tom bleached his hair and shaved his body, and he's Andre's Tom DeBlas. Secret's out. So now we got Andre mount. Cole's arms up, isolated over the head. So Andre, I would prioritize that, man. Keep, when you get someone's arms when their elbows are up over their shoulder line, right? Like this or straightened out. It's a great spot to be for you. It's where you can go on the attack. And if you're like, well, how do I attack from there? We can talk about that a bit more. We can talk about that on the side. But it looks like you're opting for a straight arm attack. You give up the mount here, switch into Kesa. Don't go to Kesa on Cole. You will get rolled. It's kind of a universal law. He was ready for that one. You're in mount, right? So stay in mount, work from there. Because Jiro Kano's favorite. Really? I didn't know that. It's ultimately where Hirai sometimes jump around his hip. Interesting. I really want to look that up now. Just to kind of see how they work together. Cole and Andre here saying, I didn't hear no bell. Andre looking for the double under sweep that I think we worked in class. That was a great counter. Down pretty close to the waist, I'd say, this gut wrench, which gives Cole a lot of room to move him. Good reaction there. Cole in danger of getting single-legged. All right, so I'm going to say, yeah, right? I agree. I'm going to watch like a bunch of videos and stay up late now. Andre, this is going to be a hard lesson to learn. This is one of those, like, don't cross your ankles when, you know, you're on someone's back, stuff like that. If someone is around your back or getting close to it, you don't want to hook the arm like this ever. You know, you might like, I don't even want to say you'd shut them down. Any good person, and you want to be able to beat good people, any good person is going to thank you for this, throw in their other hook, and now you have an arm trapped with someone on your back, and that is very bad news for you. Just like we talked about with Matt earlier, focus on protecting your neck. You could think about moving your hips out, trying to sit out, trying to stand even from here. That's a good option, especially for you. You're explosive and strong. You could probably stand here somewhat easily, but hooking a leg like that, bad news all the way around. Turtled pretty hard. Yeah, he kind of, it looks almost like he tries to maybe work like a Maki Komi. Not, it isn't one, but like the same kind of, you know, thing where you gobble up an arm or a leg or whatever and then roll. It's not going to work here. Just keep that in mind. It's easier to enter into, but easier to step around through the leg to the outside. Oh, Matt on a guillotine attempt. What happened? Who got? Okay, Cole gets on the back. Your turtle heading. It's very different. Jordan trying to work a throw by here to get by Matt's legs. All right, Andre manages to get safe, comes up into close guard. Cole opens. And we're back to open guard fighting. Which I think we've seen Andre do pretty well at handling. He's right off the bat illustrated a willingness to kind of stand in front, not always staggered. I think he learned that lesson pretty quickly. But stepping the leg up the middle, making good connections, throwing legs by, stacking you up. He's doing really well with passing. Jordan, meanwhile, same thing, working from half guard, slips the knee out here. Joe was yelling at Matt to work a lockdown. Matt, if you're interested in that, we can talk more about it. You kind of have it set up here. You have the makings of it, but you have to like engage your legs by straightening them out. And really, like you can build a lockdown game. It's not totally ineffective, but it involves a lot of movement. If you just straighten the legs out, you kind of prevent motion up the body. It's good to like relieve shoulder pressure sometimes. Maybe just like stall for a few seconds and catch your breath if you need to. But when you have that lockdown, you really want to work lateral movement this way to get your opponent off balance and open up either a leg or you know, other inversions, things like that that you can work. So I don't blame you for letting it go as we were looking at it from you if you're unfamiliar with the position. For the that's honestly probably 90% of the time I use it. That's what I'm doing it for. It's because you guys are smashing my face in. All right, so Andre's in a good spot here. He's got that forearm isolated. He needs to win this inside position with his head. That frame across the shoulder line that Cole's using isn't great, but he's giving him some pressure too, trying to hike that elbow up higher. And then it looks like he's trying to pummel his head when he does it. Yeah, gotta be careful here, man. That's what's gonna happen there. And like, I'll say this: it doesn't mean never work this case of Gatame. When I do this, I really prioritize this arm. I basically do this to set up like an eventual Kimura attack or something. Like, I'm not doing it to hold and control. Pinball may think otherwise. I have been held by a judoka. Granted, he was like an Olympic level judoka in Kesa for an entire round, and it's impossible to get out of. So it is a useful position for control if you can do it right. I was also a blue belt when that happened, so I'm gonna give myself some leeway there. But I don't hang out there too long, and I tend to try to find an attack from there. All Cole has to do, and you'll see it here, he bridges, he puts both feet down, he'll bridge and get your head to the mat. Once your head touches the mat, that basically means your hips are over his and you're going wherever he wants. So that's why I try not to hang out there too long. Used to use lockdown. Wait for trying to improve my game, but now I'm back to playing it. Actually elevate. Yes, absolutely. So when Luke uses it, that's what he does. He's very dynamic with it, and I think that's what you have to be with lockdown to be successful. You have to move your opponent. When you use it statically, you don't really do anything but kind of stall out a bit. I watched a YouTube video before the class, so I want to try it. Okay, hey, fair. That's what Open Mat's about, right? Keep playing with it. I'm not going to tell you to stop, but take from this stream, you know, the lesson there. And I'll talk about it with you on the side if you want to like play around, see what kind of attacks you have. But it's going to take some adjustments and not hanging out too long. So your game might have to like speed up a little bit there, develop like to your next move, but it's a viable position. It's just not one I try to stay in too long, as Pinball says as well. Matt looking for a last ditch sort of any sort of motion you can get to get Jordan off balance there, but doesn't quite get it. I think Joe's trying to help, but Jordan looked like he had that anaconda or the Americana pretty tight. I don't think there was much to do there. And that Kesa sweep that we saw Cole do, where he pushes your head to the mat, like that's every man's game. That's not a big man's game. That's not a strong guy's game. I've done that to people way heavier than me, way bigger than me. I've probably done it to Cole. It's an easy sweep to hit. So I'm sure give it a week and we'll see Andre doing it to us too. But yeah. Cole keeping his butterfly hook in, preventing the full pass. And I'd keep that in mind, Andre. You don't want to start isolating limbs, and I'm sure you can find like counter examples, but just generally speaking, especially as a white belt and as you know developing, make guard passing a goal. Make that a milestone that you're trying to pass first. Get past the legs, then you could worry about isolating limbs and stuff like that. Yes, you can pass guard with the threat of a submission, right? If you were standing and were able to like roll into a Kimura, which I'll be happy to show you how to do. But where you're at right now, kind of, it was this middle ground of like a loose pass with a not really effective or not really a solid grip on the arm. So Cole probably wasn't too threatened by that, and you still had to get by the leg. There we go. Matt giving Jordan a big hug, but then remembering everything Mike and I always say about giving your opponents hugs instead of getting his hands in between, getting down. Looks like he's trying to work like a hip frame here. Jordan laying on probably some uncomfortable neck pressure. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a neck crank. Maybe I don't think it was an Ezekiel. But I cut it there. Cole and Andre call it quits. I think Andre hits an Americana. Nice one. Yeah, that it's funny. We could barely see it. Let me get to it. But yeah, that's a tight one. Your elbows up, your hands down. I wouldn't want to be in that. And I don't know what Jordan gets here, if it's more neck pressure or smother or what. Mentioned wanted to work escapes a lot, so Joe and I were drilling it with him. Okay, awesome. I love it. I'm glad you guys do that. That's what being a good training partner is all about. Hey, it's Mike. I take it you still can't hear me, or no? Maybe that's the Frozen picture. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Sorry about all the stupid technical problems. We'll get my shit figured out with Mike for the next one. Pinball, my man, great to see you. Great to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations again on your black belt. That's huge, and we're all super happy for you. Thank you to all you guys for sticking around tonight. Really appreciate the viewership. Thank you for our recent follows, Andre and Matt as well. Matt, I think that's thought he had, maybe that's a new screen name. I don't know. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, this Saturday, you guys. Joe Baker, he has his match. John Lamia as well. He's got his match. I think it's going to be early in the day, between 10 and 11. I believe their matches are scheduled. So we really, really hope to see you guys out there supporting. Peters and I will be there doing commentary. So we hope to see you from, what we hope is the best seat in the house, better than you guys. And yeah, come out, support Joe. You guys have seen all the hard work he's been doing. Support John, one of our newer students. Show him what it is to be a Mooresville Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student. Come out and support him. And yeah, I think that's about it. If we got any lurkers and you like what you're seeing, please follow us here. We always love to meet new people, talk to you guys about jiu-jitsu. Subscribe if you can. You can use your Twitch Prime. No cost to you. John and Joe, yes, yeah, they're on the same card. It'll be at, you know what? Let me see. I should have done this like forever ago. But it's Blue Coast Grappling is the promoter. The venue, where's the venue? Peters, you got the venue? The venue is Sports Connection down in Charlotte. Not too far from us, right off of 485, but Sports Connection. I'm not done yet, Cole. You're not leaving. And then, yeah, I think you get tickets at the door. You could sign up ahead on Smooth Comp as well if you want. But yes, get there by 10, and I'm sure you'll see Joe and John's matches and hang out. There's a whole bunch of super fights, and then an absolute bracket as well. That's sure to be a banger. Plenty of local faces around too. I'm sure plenty of guys we've seen on the scene. So it'll be cool to see everybody out there putting on a good show. Yeah, subscribe over at YouTube as well. I'll put this up for you guys to review if you want to. Plenty of good footage to go over tonight. So I hope this is useful to you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Now get out of here, go trim your nails, and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. 16 is legal as fat. Yeah, they signed the waiver. Yeah, trim your nails, do your laundry, don't be stinky. And I will see you guys back on the mats. Take it easy.